Hi, my name is Glenn. I'm the odds coach. Today we're going to be learning what is a money line. So money line odds are the most basic to understand in a sports betting situation. Essentially, all you're doing is choosing the outcome, which team is going to win a given match. We see money line odds most typically in baseball and hockey. And the reason for that is that they're low-scoring games. That means that for a sportsbook to add a spread one way or the other, it takes on a significantly higher amount of risk. So though you do see some spread betting in these sports, it's very rare and a little bit dangerous. So let's take a quick example of a money line bet that you may be investigating for baseball. So today's game, Toronto versus Houston. Typically on sports betting sites, you'll see one odd. That odd is usually the negative. The favorite is listed beside the favorite team. So in this case, minus 167 is the odds that they're offering on Houston to win this game. It's very important that you always research the other side of that bet. Try to understand what's going on in the sports book. In this case, Toronto's being offered up at plus 145. Now, the easy way to say this is that a $100 bet on Toronto is going to win you $145. And to win $100 on Houston, you need to bet $167. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to not use those numbers when making sports betting decisions. They're specifically designed to abstract the amount of risk that you're taking. So what I would advise is taking and converting it into a $100 bet on either side when you're placing a money line bet like this. So in this case, we know that a $100 bet is going to pay, for Toronto, is going to pay $145. But we also want to say for Houston, a $100 bet on Houston is actually going to pay $59.88. That helps get in your mind a little bit about how much risk that you're taking on for any given bet. So providing that this game goes 5 innings, or 4.5 innings if Houston's winning, there will be a result in this game. And either one side or the other will pay out. So let's do the same thing with hockey. Here we have Washington, who is once again a home favorite, minus 152. In this case, that means that a $100 bet on Washington is going to pay $65.79. And then on Pittsburgh's going to be offered up at plus 137. And all that means is that a $100 bet there is going to win you $137. So providing that this game lasts at least 55 minutes of playing time, there's going to be a result one way or the other, and you're either going to win or lose your bet. So the next question is, how does that affect other sports? Sports that we typically call spread betting sports. Now, I'll explain spread betting a little more clearly in another video, but spread betting sports do often have money line odds, but it's not the primary odd of that sport. Football, some sportsbooks will have money line odds for all football games, but if there are heavy favorites, those odds will be very extreme. 200, minus 200, minus 300. You're going to have to bet an awful lot of money to try to pull in a reasonable amount of profit. But so some sportsbooks don't even bother with those. Typically, they'll set their limit at between 0 and 10-point score predicted in the outcome. So if they think that New England's going to score 21 and the Jets are going to score 17, they'll probably release a money line odd for that just outright. Same thing in basketball, and the numbers are generally the same. Between 0 and 10 points, differentiating the total score of that game, and they'll release a money line, or the money line will be a very reasonable number. Now, the exception to this is soccer or English football, and the reason is that you have 3 possible outcomes: a win, loss, and a tie in most matches. Now, not in tournament play where they do determine a winner, but for the most part, most of the betting that you're going to do on soccer is win, loss, and tie. Sometimes you can get a money line odd in soccer, but they're generally a type of combined odd, picking a win and a tie on any particular team. So almost like a form of parlay. I would stay away from money line in soccer, depending on, it could end up in a lot of pushes. You can create your own betting odds there, but don't really worry about money line for soccer is my advice there. So just to recap, Moneyline sports betting is betting on a single outcome, a win or a loss in a game. You're going to select a team, and providing that the game goes to completion, you're going to either win or lose your bet. So that's Moneyline betting. If you took anything away from this video, please remember to hit like and subscribe to the channel for future videos. Also remember that each video has an associated article on oddscoach.com where we go into a little more depth, and there's downloadable files. Also on Odds Coach, you'll find calculators, more in-depth betting articles, and sportsbook reviews. Thanks again for watching.